Hail State, everybody. Welcome into Dear Old State. You may hear it behind us. There's a big reunion going on. Lots of Mississippi State men's basketball alumni right here at the Humphrey Coliseum as we record this today. We're going to be joined by hopefully several of our greats, and we are joined, as you can see if you're watching along, by Super D himself, Darryl Wilson. Welcome to the show, man. Appreciate you being here.
Well, Darryl, I mean, obviously an incredible career, but I guess we'll just start with today. Coming back for this reunion, getting to see so many familiar faces, probably some of them you hadn't seen in a long, long time. What's this day like for you?
This is very special for us as Bulldogs. Everybody here has been in the program here at Mississippi State, and it's just a blessing. Seeing old friends, old teammates, old school players that played before, it's just awesome.
Does it feel like it's been 30 years since you guys, go to the Meadowlands, put Mississippi State in the Final Four? Has it really been that long?
Yes, it has. I was telling the guys earlier, we're all 50 now, so it feels like it's been 30 years. But it's a time in our lives we'll cherish. When we were going through things back then, we didn't know what we were doing then, but now you see everything that's happened.
You and I talked earlier. We mentioned it on the podcast that we did with Coach Williams earlier the week. My daughter graduated from South Lamar, which is your alma mater as well. I've seen the jersey hanging up in the gym in there. How did you get from small town Millport, Alabama to Starkville, and how did you get yourself recruited? How did you end up here at State?
Well, Coach Rick Stansberry recruited me. Coach Stansberry saw me out in Arizona playing AAU, and my process was different from a lot of players, and I really didn't want to go to junior college rap. And Stansberry called, like Coach Williams said, Coach Radford contacted him and said, "It's a guy over here." Stansberry remembered me, and I was a Bulldog.
When you got here, did you feel like you kind of had to prove yourself that you deserved to be here, kind of deal, or were you always a confident player? Just what was your mindset once you got here?
Most definitely, I knew I had to prove that I could play on this level. After sitting out a whole year of not playing behind Marcus Grant and Vandale Thomas, I got in, Orion Watson was here, Chucky Evans was here. All those guys are guards. So then you miss a whole year, then you got a whole recruiting class coming behind. So I was scratching and clawing and fighting. But the thing about me, I don't think Coach Williams knew, the staff knew how competitive I was, how I love to compete. I felt I was just as better than any of those guys, not taking anything away from those guys. It's just the confidence I had in myself.
You obviously earned the nickname Super D from all those three-pointers that you made. When did that shot develop? Has that always been part of your game? Is the three-point shot kind of what you were known for as you were coming up? And when did you really gain confidence to shoot it at this level here in college?
I think I've always been a shooter. From a little kid. I used to shoot in my grandmother's clothes baskets in the house. There'll be targets outside. I didn't have a goal. I'll get the basketball and just shoot against the wall, hitting one target over and over and over. And then as I got older and got to go in the backyard, I started shooting at nighttime where all I could see was the moonlight. Just shooting the moonlight, the net, and the square on the backboard, a wooden backboard. So just shooting in all circumstances, all situations. And it was just something that my hometown, Kennedy, Alabama, right? There are a lot of legends from our hometown that people never heard of, but they were great athletes. They were great at everything. And one thing we always had in our neighborhood, shooters. Everybody could shoot. So when you grow up watching those older guys, cousins, uncles, shooting ball over and over, that's what you want to do. That's how you want to be. So I guess that rubbed off on me.
I got to ask you about the 96 team in particular, man. Such a special group. Like we already talked about 30 years ago. Doesn't seem like it was 30 years ago at all. But in talking with Coach Williams about you guys, he mentioned the team coming together as one. And that was a big piece of you guys being able to make that run down the stretch and beat Kentucky in the SEC tournament and make the run that you did in March. What do you remember about that team gelling together as one and coming together and in that process that really united you guys and allowed you guys to have the success you had?
From the start of the season, we took the schedule and went down the schedule. We could beat them, we could beat them, we could beat them, we could beat them, we could beat them. We all were confident. It was just when it's time to put it together. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We didn't lack confidence. And we didn't lack coaching because Williams was going to be on our tail, and the staff, Coach Stansberry, Coach Carter, Owen Miller, George Brooks. It was just the right time and the right moment. We put together in the SEC tournament. We were on the run, and that time mattered. That's when it counts. And big-time players step up in big-time moments and big-time games, and that spell has said it all.
Yep.
Well, I want to ask you what it was like to be a student athlete here during that time. I mean, is just the frenzy that you had, the fan base, enthusiasm. We were doing something we've never done before, going to the Final Four. What was it like, during that time? I mean, I remember hearing stories about people lining the roads at the airport to meet the airplane when it came back in, and just what was it like, as a player, just being a part of all that? And I know you had to, focus on what was going on the court, but you had to kind of soak some of that in as well.
There are several moments I remember. I'll remember forever. When we played Kentucky, we had Arkansas and we had Kentucky, like back to back in that week. And it was extremely cold. You hear me? It was extremely cold. And we got to practice. And we were leaving the hump to go up behind the baseball field to come around. And we didn't know, but students were outside with tents, with the support they had. That was amazing to be a student athlete, to see students outside waiting to see you guys play the next night at 30-degree weather. And when we were descending, coming from New York, after you just got beat now, and you see cars lined up on 82 at the airport, I said, damn, we got beat. That's how I am. Like, we got beat, we didn't win, but the love and support we had from the fans and the community was outstanding. And that's something I'll never, ever, ever forget in my life.
I think Logan and I could say collectively, and many watching and listening along would say collectively, you guys are some of our favorites in Mississippi State history, this team. The personalities on it, yourself and Dante Jones and Eric Dampier, but there were so many different personalities on this team as well. What was it like just to be a part of that locker room and to share that brotherhood? And then I would ask here 30 years later, how close are you guys still to this day?
Well, we got a text trend going. All of us tied into it, so we communicate. All I can say is expect the unexpected with that group. We cracked jokes. We had fun. We competed at everything we did. And it brought us together. I mean, that's the common goal. The common goal was us getting closer, knowing what each other likes. We played pranks on each other. Like nowadays, you see pranks on TV, on social media. Well, back in 95, 96, we were doing the same thing then. It just wasn't recorded. So it's part of life. So,
well, there's one last question that we like to ask everybody to kind of wrap up shows, especially when we get alums on. But if you could really put into words, what does Mississippi State mean to you? I know you come back here quite a bit. You're recognized out there. You always get a standing ovation when you're back here at the hump. But, looking back over your career and since then, what's this place mean to you?
The only way I can explain this is Mississippi State gave me an opportunity that nobody else did. From Alabama, leading scorer in the state 2 years in a row. And for Mississippi State to accept me and accept my family in, I would cherish that forever. I'm always a Bulldog. I'll bleed maroon and white forever. My son, my daughter go to school here. My grandboys, they've been to football games. They've been to basketball games. We're Bulldogs for life. And that's how deep it is with me to have opportunity to come here and play SEC basketball, something I wanted to do. And 30 years later, here I'm a SEC legend, a Mississippi State Hall of Famer from a small town in Kenny, Alabama, home of Sophomore High School. So it's nothing but love on my side.
One of the best to ever do it here at Mississippi State, folks. Darryl Wilson, Super D, glad you could be back here today. It is so awesome to see you and your teammates and everybody, and not just from y'all's era, but different eras throughout Bulldog history back today. So great to have all y'all here today. Glad you could take a few minutes with us. I know our fans appreciate it too. Thank you, man. Enjoy the day.